Okay, children, today we are going to start with the first topic of your syllabus, which is set. What are sets? Children, you must have already studied about sets in the previous classes. Sets are the well-defined collection of objects. Okay, children? Well-defined means, for example, color of rainbow is a set. Subjects of your class is a set. Students of your class is a set. Teachers of your school is a set. Okay. Sets always represented by capital. Generally, we represent sets by capital alphabets. Okay. Suppose we have to represent set of natural number. So natural number is represented by capital N. Okay. So if we have to write set of natural number, we can write as natural number equals to curly bracket 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. That means up to infinity. Okay. And this set can also be represented as x such that x is greater than 0 and x belongs to natural number. So this format of writing representing natural number is called roster form or tabular form. And this form is set builder form, right children? You have studied in class 10. Now, if we take another example, like intelligent student of your class, is it a set or not? Can you characterize intelligent students? Right? So, children, this is not a set. Why? Because some students are good in games, some students are good in studies, some are good in writing, some are good in painting. So we cannot, this set is not defined. So this is not a set. And this is a set. Right children? Note down please. Okay children, next is kinds of sets. In kinds of set, the first is empty set. What is empty set? A set which does not contain any element is called empty set or null set. It is represented by this curly brackets or 5. If you write 5, that is representing empty set or null set. A set which do not contain any element. For example, natural number less than 1. Do you know any natural number which is less than 1? There is no natural number exists which is less than 1. 1 is the first natural number. So this is a empty set. Next is singleton set. What is singleton set? A set which contains only one element is called singleton set. For example, see this set has only one element which is 0. This is singleton set. If you solve this, you will get the value of x 2. So this set is only one element which is 2. Right? Right children? So this is a singleton set. Next is finite set. What is finite set? A set that contains limited number of different elements is called finite set. Here I have taken example of vowels, set of vowels A, E, I, O, U, right? So the vowels are defined number of elements. So it is a finite set. Consonants also a defined number of, it's also a finite set. Natural number that we have discussed earlier is a infinite set, right? So next is infinite set. What is infinite set? A set that contains unlimited number of different elements is called a infinite set. Here I have taken example of even numbers. Even numbers we know children which are divisible by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. So do you know which is the last even number? We don't know, but because it goes to infinity. So this is an example of infinite set, unlimited number of different elements. Right children? Note down this. Next we are going to study about cardinal number. What is cardinal number? Cardinal number is the number of elements in the set. Suppose any set is given A as A, E, I, O, U, right? So how many elements do you see? 5 elements. A, E, I, O, U, right children? So the cardinal number is represented by like number of elements in set A, small n bracket A means cardinal number of A equals to 5. Next is equivalent set. What is equivalent set? So we say that two sets A and B are equivalent if they have same number of elements. That means the cardinal number of any two or more than two sets become equal, those sets will be equivalent sets, right? Suppose here I have taken example, set A has elements A, B, C, set B has element 1, 2, 3. So the cardinal number of A is 3, cardinal number of B is also 3. That means both the sets have same cardinal number. That means A and B are equivalent, right children? Next is equal sets. So here we say that two sets A and B are said to be equal if they have exactly same elements. That means the elements of both the sets should be exactly same. Here only cardinal number should be same for making two sets equivalent, but for equal sets every element should be present in another set, right? So here you can see that set A has element 1, 2, 3. Here set B has element 3, 2, 1. So both the sets have same elements. So we can say that here A and B are equal sets. Right children? Note down. Okay children, next is subsets. What are subsets? We say that let A, B and B are two sets and every element of A is also the element of B. Then A is a subset of B. That means, children, see the example here. I have taken a set A as 1, 2, 3. Right children? If you make the subsets of A, so that will be null set 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. Right? That means every element of B is present in A. Null set is a part of A. 1 is a part of A set. 2 is a part of 1, 2 is a part of A set. So all the sets are the part of set A. So we can say that for any two sets A and B, every element of A is also the element of B. Then we say that A is a subset of B. Right children? Suppose this is what the sign representing subset, and this sign represent superset. So here what we will read, B is the superset of A. That means all the elements of A are present in B. That means B contains A. We'll discuss more when we study Venn diagrams. Right children? Next is number of subsets. Suppose the element A, the set A has 3 elements. How many subsets it will form? Now count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So remember children, number of subsets will be 2 to the power k, where k is the number of elements. Okay? Suppose here we have number of element is 3. So if you put k equals to 3 here, 2 to the power 3 is 8. So number of subsets will be 8. Next is proper subsets. What are proper subsets? Proper subsets. If A is a proper set of B, then A is a subset of B and A is not equals to B. That means how many subsets you can see here are not equal to A? All these except one. If we remove this one, then all of these are the part of A and it is not equals to A. So we can say that A is the subset of B when A is not equals to B. This is the improper set and above all the rest of these are proper subsets. This is improper subset. So when A and B are equal and A is a subset of B, it will be improper subset. Right children? Next is power set. What is the power set? If we make a set of all the subsets of a given set, it will be representing power set of A. It is written P bracket A. That means P is the power set of A. So if subset A has element 1, 2, 3, then these are the subsets formed by the set A, right? If you make a set of all these subsets, then it will be representing power set. So I have written a power set like this. So I made the set of all the subsets of A, right children? Note down. Children, next is representation of sets by Venn diagrams. Children, now we are going to discuss universal set. So the definition is a set contains all the elements under consideration in the given problem is called universal set. Right? That means for the given problem, all the elements that you can consider will be representing universal set. It is represented by this, denoted by these symbols. Right? Suppose here I have taken for this problem the universal set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements. For this particular problem, this is the universal set. Right? And what is this, children? This is a Venn diagram. Next is union set, union of set, and it is represented by this A union B. It means that a set that contains all the elements which belongs to A or B or both. That means either element present in A or B or present in both. Okay. So that will be representing A union B. So that means all the elements you can see here in these circles representing A union B. So how many elements are there? You can see, children, 4 elements are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is A union B having elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, children? Next is intersection sets. Intersection of sets. That is A intersection B. This is a sign of intersection. A set containing all the elements which belongs to both A and B. That means in intersection only that element will come which belongs to both A and B, present in A and as well as present in B. So you can see which element is present in A and B both. There is only one element which is 4. 4 is present in A and 4 is present in B. So A intersection B will be representing in my diagram. This area is representing A intersection B. Right, children? So A intersection B is 4. From here we can see that if A intersection B is null set, so A and B are disjoint set. That means nothing is common between A and B. If nothing is common, then A and B will be disjoint sets. And if A intersection B is not equals to null set, that means something is common, then we say that A and B are joint or overlapping sets. Understood, children? Now here we have drawn the Venn diagram. I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as the element of universal sets. 1, 2, 4 elements of set A and 3 and 4 other sets of elements of set B. And this way we can represent in Venn diagrams. A set as element 1, 2, 4. 4 is common in A and B, so it is kept at intersection area. And B, and this is 5 and 6, neither in A nor in B, so it will be outside the circles. Now you can say inside this box, how many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Right, so this box contains universal set for the given problem. Right, children? Note down, please. Now we are going to study about difference of two sets A and B. A minus B is also representing difference of set. It says that a set containing all the elements which belongs to A but not belongs to B. Right, children? That means all the elements which are present in both, if you remove that element from A, that will be representing A minus B. Right, children? So you can see that which element is present in A and B both, which is 4. If you remove 4 from A, so these elements will be representing A minus B. Similarly, if you remove 4 from this B, you will be getting B minus A. That means if you remove the elements of A from B, it will be representing B minus A. If you remove the elements of B from A, it will be representing A minus B. Right, children? Next is complement of a set. Complement can be represented by A dash or A to the power C, small c or A bar. It says that a set containing the element of universal set which do not belongs to A. That means excluding the elements of A, whatever elements of is present in the universal set left, that will be representing A complement. See children here, universal set has element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and set A has element 1, 2, 4. So if you remove 1, 2, 4 from universal set, whatever elements left, that will be the representing A complement. So A complement here will be 3, 5, 6. B set has element 3 and 4. So B complement will be, remove 3 and 4 here, you will get 1, 2, 5, 6. A union B has element 1, 2, 3, 4. So A union B complement will be, remove 1, 2, 3, 4 from the universal set, what you will get? 5 and 6. So A union B complement will be 5, 6. Understood children? Note down please. Children, now we are going to see some basic results of cardinal number if A, B and C are finite set. Right? We are going to continue with the same example. Universal set has element 1 to 6. A set has element 1, 2 and 4. B set has element 3 and 4. So the first formula says A union B equals to cardinal number of A plus cardinal number of B minus cardinal number of A intersection B. We are going to prove both the sides are equal in the formula, and we will continue with the same example. So here you can see the A union B has 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right children? So the cardinal number of A union B is 4. Cardinal number of A is, A has 3 elements, B has 2 elements and A intersection B has only 1 element. Right? So when you substitute this value here, A union B is 4 and 3 plus 2 minus 1. So again you will get 4. That means which is true for the given formula. Right children? So these are the properties which is true when the cardinal number is given or A, B, C are finite sets. Second formula says A minus B equals to cardinal number of A minus cardinal number of A intersection B, or cardinal number of A union B minus cardinal number of B. Again you can verify by putting the values of A intersection B and B. Right children? Similarly, B minus A will be cardinal number of B minus cardinal number of A intersection B, or cardinal number of A union B minus cardinal number of A. A union B can also be represented as cardinal number of A minus B plus cardinal number of B minus A plus cardinal number of A intersection B. Okay? Right children? Cardinal number of A complement is cardinal number of universal set minus number of elements in set A. Again you can see A complement has 2 elements, 3, 5, 6, and if you put the value, see the cardinal number of universal set is 6 and A has 3 elements, 6 minus 3 is again 3. Both the sides will be equal. Right children? And for 3 sets, number of elements of A union B union C will be number of elements of A plus number of elements of B plus number of elements of C minus A intersection B, cardinal number of B intersection C, cardinal number of C intersection A, plus cardinal number of A intersection B intersection C. Right children? Note down. Children, now we are going to discuss about algebra of sets. In this, the first is idempotent law, which states A union A is equals to A. That means if we take the union of any set with that set itself, we'll get the same set. Next part is A intersection A. That means the intersection of two equal sets will be that set only. Identity law states that if we take the union of any set with null set, we'll get that set again. If we take the intersection of any set with the universal set of that problem, we'll get back the same set. Boundedness law states if we take the union of any set with the universal set, we'll get the universal set. If we take the intersection of any set with the null set, we'll get the null set. Right, children? Next is laws of complementation. That means first is the complement of universal set is a null set. Okay? Complement of universal means outside this box. That means there nothing is lying. All the elements which are lying are inside the bracket, inside universal set. So the complement of universal set will be null set. The complement of null set is universal set. And if we take the complement of any complement set, we get that set again. Okay? A union A complement. That means the union of set and its complement is a universal set. And the intersection of set and its complement will always be null set. That means nothing is common between set and its complement. Right, children? Note down please, these provings are going to use, these law we are going to use in the sums, right? Okay, children, let's see few more laws. First is commutative law. What is commutative law, children? Let's discuss one easy example. 2 plus 3 is 5 and 3 plus 2 is also 5. So that means if we change the places, that doesn't affect the result. Similarly, A union B is equals to B union A. The value will remain same, or A intersection B will be equals to B intersection A. Right, children? Commutative law, addition follows commutative law, multiplication follows commutative law. Right, children? But division and subtraction does not follow commutative law. See, 2 minus 1 is 1, but 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So, if you change the places in subtraction, that will not follow commutative law. So, subtraction and division does not follow commutative law. Right, children? Here, union and intersection both are following commutative law. Same as associative law can be written as A union B union C equals to A union B union C. So, union following associative law and intersection also follows associative law. Distributive law. I have proved one law, distributive law here. Let's discuss this. Intersection 1. A intersection B union C is equals to A intersection B union A intersection C. Right, children? Let's solve this part first. The left hand side. A intersection B union C. What is B union C? All the elements of B and C. So this is B union C. All the elements of B and C together. And if you take the intersection of B union C with A, this will be representing by this part, this shaded region. So this part is representing A intersection B union C. This is left hand side. Now come to right hand side. Here we have A intersection B. This part representing A intersection B in one diagram. This is A intersection C, which is represented by this part. And if we take the union of these two parts, and if we combine the area, shaded area, what we get? This area. So this area and this area will be same. That means A intersection B union C and A intersection B union A intersection C. Hence distributive law says A union B intersection C equals to A union B intersection A union C, or A intersection B union C equals to A intersection B union A intersection C. So this I have done by Venn diagrams. Okay, children? Note down please. Children, next is De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law states A union B to the whole complement equals to A complement intersection B complement, and A intersection B to the whole complement equals to A complement union B complement. Let's verify this one first. Okay? A union B to the whole complement. A union B to the complement, that means excluding the elements of A union B, all the elements of universal set, which will cover this portion outside A and B, right? So this portion is representing A union B to the whole complement. Okay? Now here we have to see A complement intersection B complement. So A complement is excluding the elements of A, all the elements of universal set. B complement is excluding the element of B, all the elements of universal set. This shaded part. If we take the intersection of these two Venn diagrams, so you can see that this part will be the result. So you can see that left hand side and our right hand side we are getting the same result. So this part is representing A complement intersection B complement. Right children? We can say that A unit B to the whole complement equals to A complement intersection B complement. So we have proved by the help of Venn diagrams. Right? Similarly, we can say that A minus B equals to A intersection B complements and B minus A equals to B intersection A complements. These again both will representing same shaded region in the Venn diagram. If you draw the Venn diagram, both the results will be representing same. A minus B and A intersection B complement will be same shaded region representation. Okay? Tenth law says if A is a subset of B, A is a subset of B if and only if A intersection B equals to A. If A is a subset of B, that means A can only be a subset of B only in one condition, that A intersection B is equals to A. Again they say that A is a subset of B only if and only if A union B is equals to B. This is the second condition for making A is a subset of B. Third condition for making A a subset of B is if and only if A minus B equals to null set. Right children? And the last condition is A can be a subset of B if and only if A complement is B complement is a subset of A complement. Alright children? Note down please. Now let's discuss few sum children. In this sum, a Venn diagram is given and the question says find the value of A union B, A intersection B, A minus B and A intersection B complement. First is A union B. A union B means combining all the elements of A and B. Okay? So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 and 0. So I have written like this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Right? A intersection B, we have to calculate the elements which are common in both A and B. So the elements which are common in A and B both are 1 and 7. Right children? A minus B means excluding the elements of B from A. Okay? So if you exclude the elements of B from A, that means 1 and 7 will be excluded and only 2 and 4 will be left. So A minus B will be 2, 4 in curly brackets. Next is A intersection B complement. So A intersection B complement means excluding the elements of A intersection B from the universal set. So if we exclude this A intersection B, that means if we exclude 1, 7, what are the elements left? 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So all these elements are representing A intersection B complement. Right children? Note down. Okay children, in this sum, we are given with universal set, set A, set B and set C. Right children? And we have to calculate the value of A union B complement, A minus C and A intersection B union C. Right? Let's solve this one. A union B complement. Finding A union B complement, we need to calculate the value of A union B. A and B are given. So if we calculate the value of A union B, it will be 0, 2, 3, 5, 7. And if we have to calculate the complement of this set, that means we have to exclude all these elements from the universal set. So if we exclude A union B from universal set, then what we are left with? 1, 4 and 6. So this is our first answer. Next is we have to calculate the value of A minus C. That means we have to exclude the element of C from A. So there are no elements common. So A minus C will be A itself. That is 2, 5, 7. Right. The third part says we find the value of A intersection B union C. Right. So first we calculate the value of B union C. If we take the union of these two sets, we will get the elements 0, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Right children? And if we take the intersection of A, B union C and A, what elements will get? 2 and 7. So this is our third answer. Note down. Okay children, let's discuss a word problem. I have written a question in a group of 65 students, 40 like cricket. 10 like both cricket and tennis. How many like tennis only but not cricket? And how many like tennis? Two questions they have asked. So we are going to solve this problem with the help of Venn diagram. Right, children? So whatever information we are given with, let's represent that information on the Venn diagram. The question says 10 like both cricket and tennis. So 10 students like both cricket and tennis. So intersection of cricket and tennis, we draw Venn diagram like this, and this intersection part shows those students which like cricket and tennis. So how many students are there? 10. So we write 10 here. Now the question says 40 like cricket. So in 40, these 40 children, those who like cricket, 10 students are also included which like cricket and tennis. So how many left? 30. So you can see in the set of circle you have 40 students, and in intersection part has 10 students, right? How many students were there in the group? 65. So 40 students already occupied. How many left? 25. So that means 25 like tennis only. So how many? Only tennis but not cricket. So how many students are there? 25 students are there which like only tennis but not cricket. And how many like tennis? You can see that in this circle of tennis, how many students are there? 10 plus 25, 35. So 35 students are there which like tennis. Apart from that, those students who like both, right? So tennis, if they ask how many students like tennis, that means you have to add, you have to take this whole circle, all the students in this tennis section, right? Note down please.